Why would you choose to be less than you could be? And you have made that choice, and we all do. And I can talk about it because I know that I've made that choice. I'll tell you the reason that you've made that choice is because you don't know who you could be. We never know when we come into the world who we could become. And so every day it's about making a choice to become more. You can call it self-actualization or personal development, but I also know that it's a purpose, a mission, something that you were given that if you were to accomplish that, if you were to live it, you would become more and you would become far more than what you were yesterday. And that's what we all do. As humans, we all come into the world the same way, naked, and all we have is our consciousness. And that develops over time as we grow, as we live, as we learn. But then there's something else that happens. There's a collective consciousness. There's something that exists in the world that we all learn from. And we can't really do much without that previous information that we have gathered in our world and that we use something in there to create something new. But see, that's what we're all supposed to do. But if we haven't done that, we're not living the lives that we could have, and we're also not experiencing the world as we could, and we're not creating or manifesting the world that we all want to have. And see that I was asked that question on this date 4 years ago. And the reason I was asked it because it came through a Wilhelm message, and that's how everything has come through for me. That's how I have learned, and that's how I have developed with everything else that has been available. But what I did was created something different and brought something new to the world. But telling others about that was the reason that I was not becoming who I could be, and I was staying less than what I could have become. And so at 73, I'm becoming more now because I'm going to share this with you and I'm going to talk about it. When I tell people that I've developed something that anyone could use that would change their lives and they would become happy, successful, they would heal. I can say that's true because that's what I've done. And that's what, for the last 35 years, almost 36 now, that's all the information that I have received that has allowed me to create a work or bring in a philosophy for this time in our world that anybody could use. And the more people who did that, we would have a very different world. And the only problem is that most people won't believe me because it came about very differently. We exist in our consciousness. Consciousness is always here. We have a higher consciousness that we can access if we choose to. That's each person individually and the entire planet if we wanted to do that. Everyone's not going to. And what I have done is held back because I wanted everyone to believe me, and that's never going to happen. It's never going to happen for you or anyone else. There's just nothing like that that comes about. There's a channeling session that I had done, many of them, but there's one that said, well, you didn't believe, there's a message actually, you didn't believe Jesus or Buddha either. That's what happens. When someone brings something new into the world because of what they've lived or discovered or developed, it's challenging for other people to accept that because it's new. We like to stay with what is known because that's our safety zone. And so that was my safety zone. If I could keep hiding out and not tell everybody what I've done and what I could offer them, then I could be a little safe. I won't have to be exposed. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to read the message because I thought about it for the longest time. Because when I get up, I'm just going to tell you, I receive guidance and it's so clear and it goes across generations. I can receive information that I don't completely understand all the time, but it's cosmic consciousness. So it works for everyone. Everyone will understand it because as humans, we all operate the same way. Now, we've been programmed differently, however, so our resistance to understanding that might be really challenging to move beyond the previous programming. But as you look at this message, because I decided to share it today, you will understand a whole lot more. And it is this. Why would you choose to be less than you can be? Yes, it is a choice you've been making, and we will prove it to you as well as explain why you have done this. There is no one exempt from this. You might argue that you did not make this choice and it is due to the conditions of your world. And that is never true either. We're going to use a money example, but the choice you have made in your life may have been to withhold your talent or ability, but it has always been about you withholding something. When you were born, you had ingrained accomplishments you wanted to achieve, and you knew that would only occur if you were to evolve. The only manner in which you can evolve is to do something that enables you to recognize your innate power. There would be no other reason for you to be alive. The difficulty you experience then is holding on to who you used to be and not allowing who you have evolved to manifest. We know that was a complicated sentence, but you will understand it. Roger has been motivated to help as many as he can during this current time. He came upon an opportunity presented by his mentor that could provide so many with means of becoming self sustaining. During a meeting last night, they all witnessed a woman who had lost her job and was desperately seeking something to make a difference. When she saw this opportunity, she decided it was her chance. She got busy, and within less than 60 days, and through a webinar that lasted 3 hours, she earned $200,000. Roger then questioned why others weren't doing the same, and all he needed to do was to look at him to himself. You each will make an assessment as to what is possible for you. And then you systematically program yourself into believing the story you made up about your limitations. We told Roger this was his opportunity, for he has resisted developing his technical skills, even though that is what he desired, and now he has the chance. Finally, as you know, this is not new to him or you. We will leave you with a quote we gave him years ago. You are forcing yourself to become more. While force is a powerful word, it was used to describe the feelings you experience at times when it seems to you that some outside force is causing you to do something or act in a particular manner. You are doing that. And that is it. We feel this pressure at times and we think someone is calling on us to do something. And maybe if we did that, our lives would be better. Well, yeah, that's true. And it is within you. And that's your authentic self. And the thing that happened for me is that because I've done this work for all this time, I could bring into this world a new philosophy. The world is not going through the current changes accidentally. And this is all the information I've received all of these years. And it's what has healed my life and many, many others. But I too held back because I am waiting for everyone else to believe this, or because I do care so much and I want everyone to heal and to be happy and to have everything that they want. But you probably won't do that because you're still believing the programming. And so, because I'm saying I've healed all these things physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and I can give it to everyone, I can answer any question, and you can watch a channeling session, you can see it happen, or some of you come to a private channeling session, you see it happen there, and then you still don't believe it. Well, I know I did that too, because it's always in this unknown of who we are and what we have perceived was possible to accomplish in our world. And I'm telling you that you can accomplish anything. And I know this because I've done it. And in 2016, when I first started putting this work together, I was going to call it Overcoming Everything. And everybody said, don't call it that name because people won't believe it. And they were correct. I changed the name. I never did that. But I do know that you can overcome anything and everything. You can become successful. You can become happy. All you have to do is work through all the limitations that have been existing within you, within your lineage, within your ancestry, within whatever has gone before or what you have done, and all the judgment you might still be putting on yourself or thinking you failed or made a mistake. That never happened. You were learning something. All I've done is created a work that could give anyone the ability to understand who they are and then live this really great life. And the more people who do that, we have a very different world. Because see, the changes that are happening now are all energetic changes, and they're going to keep going on because it's about our science. And when you understand that, you might understand why you are changing. When we come into the world, we move through this process, and I think of it as ascension because when you operate from that standpoint, you remember that maybe some of the things that you're experiencing or the difficulties have nothing to do with you. They have something to do with your ancestors, something to do with your parents or all those who came before. But then your job is to like move beyond those. And see, I learned that a long time ago as well, because I went to a therapist many, many years ago. I was going because I just needed to figure everything out. And then I discovered, well, it's my father's fault that I'm this way. And so I went to have a talk with my father, and I sat there and I told him all of this. And he sat there and didn't say a word. And then at the end of when I was done and he let me go, he said, well, you had it better than most. And I sat there because I couldn't argue with that, because I knew that it had to be up to me to change to have the life that I want, because I couldn't depend on him. He's done. And it's the same for you. But that's where we all are in our lives and in our world. We will decide how much we're going to believe and love ourselves, and then we have the kind of life that we're going to have. So, what I'm doing now is that I am going to love and honor all of this work that I've been given. I'm going to give it to as many people as will have it, because you will change. You will create a wonderful life, and you will also help create this wonderful world that we all want to see. And so the only reason that you won't do that is because of your doubt. And I understand it because I had it, but I no longer do, because it's like, as when Carl Jung said, when they asked him, do you believe this? And then he finally said, I used to believe, but now I know. And I'm saying to you, I know. I know there is no reason for you not to have this incredible life and live the ones that you want to have, and it's prosper and have everything you want. And the only thing you have to do is discover and own who you are. And that's what I'm guiding others to do. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. Share this with others. Please check all of my work. I will leave the links in the description, or you can visit my website, rogerburnley.com. You can have everything you want. See you soon.